Hi there, VC. It's Steve Whitty here with another recent finds video. Um, these are purchases I made on Saturday, just gone, the 27th of Jan. These are all either £1 or £2 finds, and I think I struck a little bit lucky. Pete had recently bought quite a lot of decent collections, and particularly 80 stuff that were quite a lot. Some of it was in decent nick. Some of it he got more than one copy, so he decided to put some of it in the £1 and £2 bins. So here goes. And first album I show you is Joan Armatrading's Hearts and Flowers. This is her 12th album that came out in 1990. It's in really immaculate condition. This was a £2 record. Probably best known track, More Than One Kind of Love, Hearts and Flowers Free. On the album, Mick Karn and Steve Anton X of Japan were playing on the album. This is quite near to a concept album she made. This is all about love, whether Joan herself had found happiness, had found a new love in her life or whatever. I don't know. She's very much a closed book when it comes to her private life. But it's a great album. I played that last night. Really a good album. But for me, Joan Armatrading cannot do any wrong. Next album I found, and this was in the pound bins, it's because there's some water damage on the cover. This is Colin Bloodstone's, and it's Ennismore, and that's his second album. It's not an original. It is an Epic reissue. The Epic logo had changed from the original one, and it reissued it with the newer logo. And this came out in 1972, and it's his second solo album. And probably the best known track on here is "I Don't Believe in Miracles," which was a hit single for him. What I noticed from looking at this, as I haven't got any solo Colin Bloodstone, is the fact that there's still that zombie influence, because Rod Argent co-produced the album with Chris Wright, and then you've got Argent sort of falls into the band as well, because you've got I Don't Believe in Miracles was written by Russ Ballard. Jim Rodford, who sadly has passed away recently, played bass on there. He was bass player with Argent. Bob Henritt was also drummer with Argent, played on here as well. So some cracking musicians on the album. I was told by Pete this is a great album, and he would have sold it for more if it weren't for that water damage. So I've considered myself lucky to pick that one up. From 1989, Gun, and this is their debut album, Taking On the World. Again, this cost me a couple of pounds. Best known tracks, Better Days, Shame on You. Band Scotland, I think Glasgow. On the strength of this album, I know Mick Jagger was that impressed. He invited them to support the Stones on the Steel Wheel tour. Had a few other hits, particularly their. I'm trying to think of the name of the 1994 album, and it escapes me now, which had the hit Word Up on it. They're still going. I think with the original, Mark Rankin's no longer with the band. Last thing I heard was when they did a cover of Hot Chocolate's "Everyone's a Winner," which was which isn't too bad. Yeah, good album. I'm pleased to have got my hands on a copy of that. Michael Jackson, Ben. This is his second solo album from 1973. It's got here. It's from the motion picture Ben. I know the title track, and you've got. And I don't really know much about the album. It's got probably a cover of My Girl on here as well. So I've got this first solo album. I was playing that last week actually. So this is the second album. So I picked that in the pound bin. This is Rickie Lee Jones and her debut album. It came out in 1979. I know the track Chucky's in Love, and it was played to death on the radio in the UK. Minor hit single, big hit single in the States. You've got really sort of like the cream of session musicians on here. Steve Gadd and Andy Newmark and Jeff Porcaro on drums. Guitar, you've got Fred Tackett, Buzzy Felton. Randy Newman makes an appearance on synthesizer. It's Michael McDonald is on backing vocals. Yeah, really, I'd be interested to listen to this. Obviously, I know the one song. Maybe it's another artist that I probably may need to explore more after I've listened to the album. Album that I've always seen in the pound, floating around the pound bins. Everyone's talked about it. It's got the main track on it, and I've just decided to take the plunge and bought Gerry Rafferty City to City. Obviously, we know Baker Street. Hugely successful album when it came out in 77 or 78. It is Gerry Rafferty's official second solo album. He did one, something like I Want My Money Back, which was very early on in his career. Obviously, Baker Street's the main song. It was a number 2 single in the UK, I think top 10 in the US. The album itself went to number 1 in the US and was number 6 in the UK. We all know a bit of the tortured soul Gerry Rafferty became, demons with the drink, which led sadly to his early demise. But for a pound, it's in really good nick, so I'm happy to pick that up. Another album I was really pleased to find for a pound. This is the Stranglers, Black and White. This is their third album, and it sort of represents a more experimental phase in the band. They got away from the sort of, they were tagged in, they were actually a pub rock band, but got tagged into the punk new wave, mainly because they were an aggressive band. It's not a band that you would cross. I know journalists that slagged off the album sometimes received a visit and a bit of a talking to. So the album's Black and White, and you've got a black side to the album, and you've got a white side to the album. Probably the best known track on here is Nice and Sleazy. And I may have told this before when I showed the live albums. When they used to play it, originally played it, wherever they played, they used to find a local stripper who would do her act to the song. And they did a Rock Against Racism benefit gig in 1978 in London. And it was a big outdoor gig, and all everyone was talking about, they went over the top with it. Nice and Sleazy came on, and literally the stage was full of strippers, male and female, mainly female. And there is video floating around of the performance, and it really enraged a lot of people, and Rock Against Sexism was formed on the back of that. Need I say more? Next album, Cat Stevens' Foreigner. This is his 7th album, if you include all his 60s stuff. Number 3 in both the UK and the US. Probably a bit of a concept album, because you have on side 1 the Foreigner Suite, and then there was a minor hit single called The Hurt. What I liked about this album, I looked at this and thought, this is a bit thick. It's 2 albums in this, and there isn't. What came with it? You may have seen it, I didn't realise. It's almost like you've got your cover, but you've then got the lyrics, and you see it's a little bit water damaged. Almost like a painting of a polar bear, and then you've got the lyrics on the back. So in a sense, you could put that in a frame and hang it on your wall. Not that I think many people did. I'm sort of pleased that this person, whoever owned it, didn't. I've got that there. So yeah, really pleased to pick up that. Obviously, I've got the obvious Cat Stevens albums. Now I'm just going to get this back into the case. Okay. There we go. Record from the 80s, late 80s. This is Voice of the Beehive, Let It Be. Their debut album from 1988. I actually like this like this group at the time. Very pop indie basis. You got two sisters from America that came over to the UK, and on drums you got Woody from Madness, who's taking a hiatus. Madness had sort of had split up at that point initially. Best known tracks, I Say Nothing, which was a minor single, and Don't Call Me Baby, which was I think top 30 single for him. I think they're still going. I did show a copy, a single, I Think I Love You from another album, the next album. Yeah, really, I enjoyed that. It brings back happy memories of a happier time of the youth. Steve Winwood's back in the high life. His fourth solo album and probably his most successful. You've got High Love on here, which is, I don't know if it was the number one single in the US. It certainly was top 10. It was top 20 in the UK, I believe. The album was number 6 in the UK, 28 in the US. This actually came in shrink wrap, but I took the shrink wrap off. I don't know if you could see, it started to bend the corner of the sleeve. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of keeping shrink wrap on albums, to be quite honest. That's just my opinion, to be honest. But yeah, the album itself sort of represented a bit of a change for him. I think he got divorced and remarried, and yeah, it's a good pop album. You know, probably soon afterwards he left Ireland, much to, I don't think annoyance, but I think Chris Blackwell was a little bit upset to lose him. Yeah, he had him from Spencer Davis Group. Finally, couple of compilation best disco album in the world. It's got basically Chic Le Freak, Amy Stewart, Knock on Wood, One Way Ticket by Eruption, I Can't Stand Rain by Eruption. Very much standard disco fare. It's got Funkadelic's One Nation and the Groove, which I've probably the reason why I brought this. That was a pound. And then finally, I said finally earlier, but finally, years ago, when I was a youngster, my mum brought me an album from W.H. Smith. It cost her 49p because I like my sport. This is Sports 20. It was the highlights of 21 years of BBC Sports Report. Sports Report comes on the radio at 5 o'clock, and you know it from this distinctive theme tune. And it basically gives a rundown of the sporting event of the day, starting with the footy results and then whatever's followed on afterwards. Sports Reports has just celebrated its 70th birthday. It's still going. It's a staple. Most people will rather listen to that than watch the results on the television. But this album, it's a time capsule of the. You've got voices. Eamon Andrews, who was a big cheese in British television and radio at that time, he introduced the first one, and it's very hard to describe. It's especially to the people who are watching from overseas. You got the boat race things like Joe Davis maximum 147 breaking snooker, Jim Laker taking 19 wickets against Australian cricket, Muhammad Ali and Nita Longsborough in the Rome Olympics, Spurs doing the double. And then you got the commentators, Harold Abrahams, he who won the gold medal in the 1924 Olympics, John Arlott, Harry Carpenter, Raymond Glendenning, John Snagg, Brian Moore, Peter Jones. These are iconic names in sports broadcasting in the UK. So I never thought I'd see another copy of this. So I was more than happy. I was given it actually because I said I used to have it. So there you go, VC. Those are my recent hauls from Saturday. So I hope you're keeping well. If you're new to the channel, you've just come across it. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Thumbs up, thumbs down. And feel free to leave a comment. I'll always get back to you. So until the next time, take care of yourselves. Keep spinning, keep smiling. Look after yourself. Bye.